Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Alright. You guys like the content that I'm dropping? Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with other people you think may benefit from them. Alright. Now, today's topic is going to be like a follow-up on why I left the USA. Okay, so it's like a part two. And the reason why I'm doing a part two is because what I realized is I didn't really highlight like the specific reasons why I left the United States. I more talked about the importance of travel, and then I gave you some pros and cons that I noticed from living in Germany, right? So this is like a caveat off of that, and I want to go a little bit more into details as to the specific reasons why I dipped out. Now, for one, I'm a person who, like, even when I was a kid, I traveled around a lot. And it was always cool to be on the move because you got to just, it was like life was an adventure. You never knew where you were going to be in the next 2 years. Meanwhile, I look at other people who maybe lived in the same place their whole life, and they're like very limited as far as what they could express, what jokes they could tell, what stories they can, give to make you laugh, and how, like, let's say, expansive their mind is. If you live in the same city your whole life, what can you really tell me besides the major establishments that are there and have been there forever, local drama, stuff from your high school or whatever. And if you live from a small town, then your high school isn't even that big. You don't even really have a huge influx of people that are coming and bringing new knowledge or ideas to your part of the world. So one of the reasons why I wanted to leave is because, like, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? Specifically Huber Heights. Now, it's a good place to grow up. There was no real major crime or anything like that. And most of my family is there, at least on my mom's side. But what I realized for me, it was too slow for my thinking. Like, I want to have grand experiences. I want to be able to, let's say, go to the ocean. There ain't no ocean in Ohio. I want to see fast cars fly lifestyle. How am I going to see that when everything is here is like a basic suburb? Or like a rundown, it's like a rundown, let's say, city that used to be hustling, like used to be bustling, and used to have a whole lot of shit going on back in the day. But now all the big businesses have pulled out. Like GM, for example. GM was like an industrial powerhouse, and a lot of people had blue collar professions working with GM. You didn't need like a college degree for that, and that was a huge source of income for a lot of families that lived in Dayton. But then in the mid 90s they pulled out, and I think outsourced all of their factory work either to robotics or to overseas countries, cheaper labor. You know what I mean? So what did that do to the economic prowess of Dayton that used to be bustling? It dropped it down. So now you have less people with less money, or more people with less money, and searching for jobs. And so consequently the city value starts to go down. Anytime you have economic situations where people aren't able to build and collect, now you're going to have a rise in crime, a rise in inactivity, a rise in unemployment. So there was really nothing going on in Dayton that I could look forward to after high school. So once I graduated and had my own place, and then wound up like moving back shortly with my mom before I joined the military, hell, I was already thinking, like, how the fuck can I get away from here? Because I'm moving backwards in life. I'm 20 years old and I'm doing worse off than when I was 18 and I had my own place, in my own mind. There ain't nobody that can really tell me about a cool vacation or anything major that they did, because everybody is just here just scraping by. So I thought, if I want to change my situations, I got to get the hell up out of Ohio. And I'm glad I made that choice, right? Now, by me making that choice, I wound up joining the military, which brought me around a whole bunch of different places, different people, and that communication that I had with those individuals who I found cool or whatnot expanded my mind even further to want to know what else is out there in this world. We're taught in America, oh, you guys are number one. But it's like, number one in what? If you do real research, you'll see we're not number one in many things. Like, yeah, we're number one in, let's say, the amount of millionaires. We're number one in the amount of, let's say, startup companies and stuff, which is good. But if you look at the other facts, we're number one in people that are incarcerated. We're number one in homicides. We're number one in suicides. We're number one in, let's say, like the bad things that no one talks about. gun violence. You see what I mean? We're number one in the amount of people who go bankrupt from paying medical bills. Isn't that insane? We're like last place when it comes down to an intact healthcare system that really takes care of its citizens. But we're supposed to be the land of the free. We're the number one of racist hate crimes. But we're supposed to be the land of the free. Like, it's a lot of contradictions and corruption in America that most people just breeze right past because they see the superficial shit. You know, you see a black president, Barack Obama, and then you think, oh, well, blacks are doing pretty good. It's like, no, we're not. Can't you imagine that under the guise of a black president, the worst crimes ever against black people took place? Modern day lynchings. You know, and that was another reason why I wanted to move from America, because it's like, dang, like, I can't even just be just black. I can't even just live the way I want to live. You know what I mean? The whole history is always being lied about. Y'all motherfuckers can't even just admit that we're the original Indians. We're not Indians, man. We're Native Americans. That's what we are. But let you take a DNA test, they're going to tell you, oh, Africa. Yeah, but what about all these white people? I guarantee a lot of them are getting classified as Native American or, oh, Navajo or this or that. That shit is fake, man. Y'all were not there. We were already there. You know, so it's just a lot of bullshit that I wanted to escape when I thought about, like, leaving America. Like, there's racism all around the whole world. There's a whole system that's built on white supremacy. I totally understand it, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, white people, no disrespect, if you're watching this video, say I'm lying. Y'all the smallest part of the population. Facts. Everywhere you go, it's either brown, black, yellow, or red people. White people constitute less than 10% of the overall world population. So yeah, in order for y'all to just survive without getting literally breeded out of existence, yeah, you gotta have a whole bunch of things in place to make it seem like you're superior. But genetics and every study will tell you that y'all are actually inferior. I'm not trying to knock you. I don't have nothing against white people, but yo, it's just facts. You're a white person. Your blue eyes are recessive. That's not me. That's genetics telling you that. You're more prone to have a whole bunch more diseases than I do and issues just for being born on this planet. That's not me. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You literally get skin cancer and have issues from the very light that gives life to everything on the planet. Isn't that a little bit odd? The sun comes out, you got to put on all this cream, you over here getting burnt the fuck up when the average black person is just good. No issues whatsoever. We produce melanin, you don't. That's why you're white. That's a recessive trait. But see, like, it's not like when I go to Germany or any other country that I don't face racism. But I'm saying that the amount of overt racism that I face in America is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm literally subject to just be killed by the police for no reason at all. And everyone knows it. Like, we literally have to make a movement where George Soros did. I'm not going to be a supporter of that bullshit. But Black Lives Matter. And then there's people who literally argue and talk about some All Lives Matter. Like, who said, like, dang. Dang. Look at the civil rights movement. Look at all the stuff that's happened. Look at how many terrorist attacks have happened against black people in America. So anybody who's black in America can straight nod their head to everything the fuck I'm saying. But when you go move somewhere else, you realize it's not even that bad. You know, why you think black people moving all back to Ghana and back here and back, you know. I ain't never faced no much the racism in Germany that I face in America. Facts. It's still racism, but it's way more subtle. What's another reason why I left the States? Well, I didn't like how, like, it's a lot of things. I could start with this, the GMO food. I mentioned that in the other video, but hey, real talk. I mean, real talk. To know that food that you guys are eating in the United States is banned, literally in most other countries. Like, they look at it and they're like, we ain't letting these onions up in here. These ain't real onions. They're GMOs, genetically modified organisms. How the fuck am I seeing onions that are all like this big, all perfectly the same size? That's not how an onion's supposed to be shaped. There's supposed to be some smaller, some supposed to be more juicy, a little bit drier. There's supposed to be multiple shapes and sizes. That's how you know they're real. Just like chicken and stuff like that. How do I have this big swole ass chicken? Like, bro, that's not real. So if I'm eating that on a regular, what's happening in my body? Then you start looking up obesity, up. Most people overweight. Most people, even if they're not overweight, they're not built like healthy. Have you noticed that? It's a lot of skinny fat people in the States, yo. All right, what's another thing I didn't like about the States? Why I wanted to move? I didn't like the cultural values. I didn't like the fact that in the black community, especially, I get more respect coming out of jail than I do coming out of college. By me speaking, let's say, normal, eloquent, trying to have a little bit of knowledge of the English language, I'm gonna catch the label of lame. Like, ain't nobody gonna fucking call me that to you ain't gonna call me that to my face. But I'm just saying in general, like, if you're a smart young black dude, you're gonna catch hell. You know what I mean? You won't get credit for just being an intelligent person. You're gonna catch hell from racist whites that are gonna think like, oh shit, he's a threat because he's smart. We want them to all be, alcohol guzzling, weed smoking criminals that fit the stereotype because that serves our society, that serves our purpose. You come across a lot of black people, they're gonna look at you like you a lame or like you a sellout, or they're gonna guess that you're trying to be white, or all this bullshit. Like, for example, World Star Hip Hop. You know how many views they get every single year? Millions. And who are the all stars on that little stupid platform? Black people, looking ratchet, looking stupid, just feeding into the stereotype. I didn't like being in a society that like promotes that. You know, I just didn't like how the like, as a spiritually enlightened person, I just felt like America was like the belly of the beast, so to speak. Issues like transgender bathrooms literally came up. You got LGBT, then you got Q, then you have P that they're trying to add to it. It's like, at this point, this is ridiculous. Then you have, that's the home of Hollywood, which is definitely the devil's playground. You hear all these stuff about selling your soul and doing all this crazy shit just for money, fame, and status. It's just ridiculous. And then, like, another thing that kind of like made me leave the United States or not want to come back was, for example, being in Germany. All right, in Germany, the people are kind of like critical, analytical, judgmental as well. They'll sit there and research stuff about the States and then, put them on blast about it. And one of the things that Germans often tell me that they don't like about Americans is that, like, it's called Überflächlich. Kind of like being superficial, over the top, extra. You don't see that shit in Germany. Most people are kind of collective. They're more inclined to be quiet and listen to what you're saying than they are to be coming in the room, hey, what's cracking, da, 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 all loud and over the top with so much volume in your voice and stuff. Like, Germans will often be looking at you like that. Like, if you acting all out of pocket, you will catch stares like this. Kind of like you're immature. That stuff is not valued in Germany, you know what I mean? If you're supposed to be a grown man, people value you for being a grown man. Literally, I see teenagers that are trying to act like adults. Not saying every single person in Germany is perfect. You get what I'm saying. I'm saying in general. So, I mean, there's other stuff too I just didn't like. I just felt tired of what I was experiencing there. The materialism, the consumer culture that just dominated everybody. Everybody just bragging about the new shit they bought, the new car they have, the new rims they got, the new, like, none of that stuff matters in the grand scheme of things. Even I got caught up into it. I had a Cadillac. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to put these 22s on. Like, dude, a Cadillac is not meant to have these heavy ass 22-inch rims on the car. That's the reason why I just had more problems. I got the 22s on the car that everybody can look at when I drive by, but I'm driving. I don't even see my 22, so it's ridiculous. But I'm just filling my car up. I got a problem with the steering wheel. Up, there's an issue with the suspension. Up, whenever I go above 70, I feel like something's about to happen. In Germany, no one gives a fuck about your stupid ass rims, bro. Matter of fact, if your rims are all big and all custom like that, it's a high chance that TÜV, which is basically like the agency that inspects cars for safety and that they're up to regulation to be on the road, they're probably going to tell you that you can't even have those rims. So you're going to look dumb as hell trying to buy them in the first place. And if you on the Autobahn, what you mean? Sometimes they have no limit. Do you really want to be with a Cadillac with 22-inch heavy-ass rims making the whole car work harder just to go fast. I'm trying to go above 70, the car is shaking. Put that car in Germany, it's a Mercedes that got the stock rims that's like going past me at like 250 fucking miles an hour. Like, so it obviously doesn't make sense, a lot of the stuff we prioritize. You know what I mean? So, teenage pregnancy, how that shit was like all on TV, and, you know, Maury Povich, you know, you are the father. It just felt like it was just, like, the cultural values in the States were just trash. And since I was a person who's always trying to seek enlightenment, I didn't want to be a part of that culture. You know, it was just going to be way harder to find a rational, level-headed female, for example, for me to make my children with, you know, or to even be with in a long-term relationship. And then I go to Germany, and literally like 3 weeks later, I meet my current wife, who I've been with for almost 10 years now. You know, yeah, of course we have our issues. Yeah, of course we gripe and we moan, and she ain't feeling me sometimes. I ain't feeling her. Like, name one couple that don't bump heads and shit. But I'm saying, by and large, she was just the only female I felt that was just rational and thinking just straight, and didn't have her head in the clouds, like being so influenced by whatever stupid ass rap song came out. Like, literally, I seen females in the States that for real just emulated everything that whatever rapper was talking about. Lil Wayne hot, all the girls want to do with dreads. Rick Ross hot, all the girls want to do who talking about, you know, selling drugs and being kind of like on the chubby shit with a long beard. You know, Drake come out, up, all the females talking about light skinned dudes are back in. Like, it's just, y'all so indoctrinated by this bullshit. Entertainment was like entertainment culture is such a big deal, you know what I mean? And it's not to say that Germany's immune from it, because they try to catch on to our trends, like, even if they're like 10 years late. Like, out there, they finally wearing fitteds and shit. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Those are some reasons why I actually left the States, and I had to, like, make another video to caveat off of it. So, like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler back, man.